Here's our practice video for Allegro in Book 1. Allegro is a word that you're going to see quite often in music as we progress through these pieces. It's basically a tempo marking that means fast or brisk. So you always get sort of the idea of the character of a piece when you see that marking Allegro. All right, so we're going to start Allegro with 2 finger exercises. It's for the left hand. Very, very important that you do a lot of repetitions on these exercises because these relate to 2 places in this piece where we want to make sure the right fingers are staying down and then certain fingers are lifting to get out of the way. And that makes everything work with great facility. If you do it a lot with these exercises, putting it together, it will be much easier. So we're going to start with I'm going to basically give you all these steps for each exercise, and then you will see how they relate to the piece. So step number 1 for the first exercise, we're going to put the first finger on the E string, put the bow in the middle, we're going to do our twinkle rhythm. Second finger is going to set, and the first finger is going to stay down. Now we're going to set the third finger, lifting the second finger. And we go back to the first finger, which is still down. So notice that the first finger stayed down through the entire exercise, and then we didn't play the third finger until the second finger had lifted. So as the third finger comes down, the second finger pops up, and it gets out of the way. Now we're going to go on to the next exercise, which will be the first finger on the A string, and we'll do twinkle rhythm again. Now we're going to set the second finger, lifting the first finger. Lift the second finger and play open A. Okay, so those 2 exercises, take each one, do them 10 or 20 times in a row, then do the other one 10 or 20 times in a row, and just lots of repetition for a few days. Often when I give this to students, we do this exercise maybe for a week before actually learning the piece. So that may be the case for you watching this video, and this may be where you want to stop. But right now, we're going to go on and put it all together in the piece. And you'll see where those exercises relate to, which measures they relate to, and you'll see that I'm going to be very careful as I put it in with the piece to make sure, again, that the 1 is staying down at the right time and the 2 is picking up the way it did in that first exercise. Okay, so we're going to set the third finger. Make sure, again, that you have a really relaxed left hand so that we can put this third finger down and get a lot of ring on the E string. So the third finger is going to go on the E string. And we're going to listen for a lot of good ring on these third fingers. Okay, so here we go. Starting down bow. Now here's our exercise. 1, 2, 3 sets, 2 lifts. And we come back to 1, which is still down. Now we go over to A string with 3. And here's the second exercise. 1, A, 1, set 2, lift 1, open A. Circle, and come back to the E string. The next line is exactly the same as the first line. Now we go on to the next middle section, putting the 1 on the E string. And we're going to be very careful that the string crossings here are really accurate. So 1, 1, E, open A. So make sure you stop to change string before the bow moves. Here, it's exactly like that first exercise again. 1, set 2, set 3, lift 2, high 2 on A, 1. And the bow stops, and now we circle, and it's exactly like the beginning again. So I hope you could see the way those fingers were coming up or staying down in those places that corresponded to the exercises. So, of course, we want to learn this with short bows. The next step after you really have the piece learned is to speed up some of those opening bows and get even more ring from a faster bow. And what we're going to do is make sure the elbow, the middle of your hand, and the bow are all moving exactly together. So you can do this in the air, just pull, push, pull, push. I'm going to try to get at an angle where you can see my arm a little bit better. So that's going to be the motion that we're going to have, and we want to think toe, toe. So still really grabbing the string at the beginning with a lot of good connection, and then just releasing your arm as it moves with this faster speed than we've really used before, and you should hear toe, toe. So connecting and releasing on every single bow with the elbow, the middle of the hand, and the bow all moving together. Let me show you what that looks like, and I'm going to try to get at an angle here where you can really see my arm. Now here, a little bit longer bows. So we're slowing the speed down a little bit here. Fades away and stops right on the string. Circle. Notice I didn't use all that bow on every note. I think you could tell which ones I was using it on and which ones I wasn't. When we have this, less bow. But everything else, toe, toe, toe. All right, so that is basically everything for Allegro. And of course, even as we progress on into later pieces, this becomes a great piece to go back to for review to get that sense of the movement of the arm, of the full arm. Good luck and happy practicing.